Have you heard that Tim Lincecum is the only pitcher in Major League Baseball history to win back-to-back Cy Young Awards despite standing just 5 feet 11 inches tall? Tim Lincecum wasn't just a pitcher, he was a phenomenon. A decade ago on a crisp October night, he delivered one of the most electrifying postseason performances in Major League Baseball history.
Giants beat the Braves 1-0. A brilliant pitching jab by Tim Lincecum.
Facing the Atlanta Braves in his playoff debut, Lincecum struck out 14 batters in a complete game shutout, leaving fans and analysts in awe. His dominance that night wasn't just about one game. That was the beginning of something special. But just as quickly as he rose to the top, something happened. So, what really happened? Tim Lincecum's journey to baseball stardom wasn't typical. Born in 1984 in Bellevue, Washington, he grew up under the guidance of his father, Chris, who designed his son's unconventional but powerful pitching mechanics. From an early age, Lincecum's ability to generate explosive velocity from his small frame set him apart. His father's philosophy was simple: maximize every ounce of energy his body could produce. That philosophy actually made him nearly unhittable. At the University of Washington, Lincecum quickly became a sensation. Despite his size, he overwhelmed hitters with a fastball that reached the high 90s and a devastating changeup that made even the best batters look foolish. By his junior year in 2006, he was the most dominant pitcher in college baseball, winning the prestigious Golden Spikes Award, given to the nation's top amateur player. Major League scouts saw the talent, but some hesitated. Could a pitcher that small hold up in the grueling world of professional baseball? The San Francisco Giants didn't doubt him. In 2006 Major League Baseball draft, they selected him 10th overall, betting that his unique mechanics and fearless approach would translate to the highest level. They were right, but no one could have predicted just how quickly Lincecum could rise in the major leagues. Indeed, it didn't take long for Tim Lincecum to prove the doubters wrong. Less than a year after being drafted, he was already in the big leagues, making his Major League Baseball debut for the San Francisco Giants in May of 2007. From the moment he took the mound, it was clear that wasn't just another promising prospect. His fastball exploded out of his hands, touching 98 miles per hour, while his signature changeup and sharp-breaking curveball left hitters guessing. Then, fans were mesmerized by his fearless approach and violent, whip-like delivery. He wasn't just pitching, he was attacking. By 2008, Lincecum was untouchable. He led the team with 265 strikeouts, posted a 2.62 ERA, and won his first Cy Young Award. An incredible feat for a 24-year-old in just his first full Major League Baseball season. In 2009, he did it again, becoming the first pitcher in National League history to win back-to-back Cy Young Awards in his first full 2 seasons. He wasn't just great, he was rewriting the rules of what an elite pitcher could look like. From 2008 to 2011, Lincecum was the most dominant force on the mound. He was selected to 4 straight All-Star games, led the league in strikeouts 3 times, and carried an entire franchise on his back. But what truly defined his legacy was his ability to deliver when it mattered most. In the 2010 postseason, he was nearly unhittable, including a legendary 14 strikeout performance in his playoff debut. When the Giants won the World Series that year, their first in over 50 years, Lincecum was their ace, the face of their championship run. At just 26 years old, he had accomplished more than most pitchers dream of in a lifetime, and that was the beginning of his peak performance and notable achievements.
Giants beat the Braves 1-0. A brilliant pitching jab by Tim Lincecum.
In his first ever playoff start, he struck out 14 batters in a complete game shutout against the Atlanta Braves, a performance that remains one of the most dominant in postseason history. He followed that up with another gem in the World Series, outdueling Cliff Lee twice to help the Giants secure their first championship since moving to San Francisco. Enjoying this so far? Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more videos like this. Lincecum's ability to rise to the occasion made him one of the most feared pitchers in baseball. Even as his regular season numbers dipped slightly in 2011, he remained the heart of the Giants' rotation. Then in 2012, something unexpected happened. He struggled as a starter, finishing the season with an uncharacteristic 5.18 ERA. But when the playoffs arrived, the Giants made a bold move. They shifted Lincecum to the bullpen, and he thrived. In a relief role, he rediscovered his dominance, playing a crucial part in the Giants' second World Series title in 3 years. Despite the struggles that had just started creeping in, Lincecum still had flashes of brilliance. In 2013, he threw his first career no-hitter, a masterful 148-pitch effort against the San Diego Padres. A year later, he did it again, tossing his second no-hitter against the same team. But even as he celebrated these milestones, the cracks in his game were becoming more apparent. His once electric fastball had lost its velocity, and the same unorthodox mechanics that made him great now seemed to be working against him. By the time the Giants won another World Series in 2014, Lincecum was no longer the dominant force he once was. He was still part of the team, but his role had diminished. The pitcher who once carried the Giants to their first championship had now become a fading presence. Fans still hoped for a comeback, but deep down many wondered, was this the beginning of challenges and conflicts? The most shocking part was that his fastball, once touching 98 miles per hour, struggled to reach 90. The sharp bite on his slider softened, and hitters who once looked helpless against him were now making solid contact. His 2012 season was a shock to everyone, a staggering 5.18 ERA, the worst among qualified starters in the National League. At first, the struggle seemed like an anomaly. Pitchers have off years, and Lincecum had already built a resume that suggested he could come back. But as each season passed, the signs of decline became impossible to ignore. His once deceptive delivery, which had allowed him to generate maximum force from his wiry frame, now seemed to work against him. His control wavered, and his strikeout numbers, once the foundation of his success, began to dip. The Giants remained loyal, hoping he could reinvent himself, but by 2014, he was no longer their ace. He started the season strong, even throwing his second career no-hitter, but by August, he was removed from the starting rotation. In 2015, his struggles worsened. A hip injury forced him to miss the second half of the season, and when he became a free agent that winter, no team showed serious interest. The fall was as rapid as the rise. Just 5 years earlier, Lincecum was the most feared pitcher in baseball, the face of a dynasty. Now, he was struggling to hold on to a roster spot. The question wasn't just whether he could return to his former self, it was whether he could ever pitch in the majors again. But Tim Lincecum wasn't the type to walk away without a fight. After his struggles in 2015 and the hip surgery that followed, he refused to accept that his career was over. He surely made attempts at reinvention and comeback. In early 2016, he staged a showcase for major league teams, hoping to prove he still had something left. Scouts watched closely, looking for any signs of the dominant pitcher he once was. The results were mixed. His velocity was still down, and his mechanics looked different, but the Los Angeles Angels saw enough potential to take a chance. Lincecum signed with the Angels in May of 2016, but his comeback was short-lived. In 9 starts, he posted an ERA over 9.00, struggling to locate pitches and missing the sharpness that once made him unhittable. The Angels released him by August. Just like that, the former Cy Young winner was without a team. Still, he wasn't ready to give up. In 2018, the Texas Rangers offered him another shot, signing him to a minor league deal. But this time, he didn't even make it to the big leagues. His velocity remained inconsistent, his command never returned, and he was released before ever throwing a pitch in a Rangers uniform. That was the last time Lincecum attempted a return. No press conference, no farewell speech, just resolution. A quiet exit from baseball. Unlike many former stars who transitioned into the broadcasting, coaching, or media appearances, Lincecum stepped away from the spotlight entirely. No farewell tour, no public statements, just silence. For a player who once captivated the baseball world, his absence only deepened the mystery. Fans speculated about what had happened, but little information surfaced. Former teammates described him as a private person who never sought attention, and after baseball, he simply faded into his personal life. Occasionally, glimpses of Lincecum surfaced, but beyond that, he remained elusive. Reports suggested he had moved back to Washington, focusing on family and personal interests rather than staying connected to baseball. Tim Lincecum wasn't just a pitcher, he was a phenomenon indeed. But just as quickly as he rose to the top, he faded away, leaving behind a legacy filled with brilliance, mystery, and what-ifs. What do you think about the predicament of Tim? Share your thoughts in the comments and let's discuss this. Make sure you subscribe to Curveball TV. Hit that like button and stay tuned for more fastballs, curveballs, and unexpected endings.